Hi, Steve, Bugbusters. I'm going to talk a little about rodents, rats and mice. They're just creatures of opportunities. They need the same thing we do in life: food, water, and a home. And if they have all three of those at your house or in or around your house, they'll move in and they'll populate. Typical rat can have up to 12 litters a year and up to 14 pups in each litter. Their gestation period is 21 days, so about every single month they're mating and having more. Those babies, within 3 or 4 months, they'll be mature enough to start that cycle as well. So they can build their populations very quickly. A mouse is very similar, just not quite as often. They do it about 10 times a year. When they forage for their food, they tend to behave a little bit differently. A rat's going to stick close to edges of walls and curbs and decks and things like that, someplace close. It's going to use its whiskers as curb feelers to stay close to an area. They don't want to be out and exposed. They don't want to be open to prey. They have a lot of fear. Now, mice, complete opposite. They will literally wander everywhere, all over the place, looking for any food source that they can possibly find. Once a food source is found by either one of them, they will hoard it. If it's plentiful, they will hoard it. Just like most of us had a hamster growing up. We saw the hamster pack the food in its cheeks and then take the food to the other side of the cage. All rats and mice will do that. If the food is plentiful, they will hoard it up and save it. So if you have a rodent infestation that's been going for a while and they have an unlimited food source, it takes a lot longer to get rid of that population, because you can eliminate all the food source, seal everything up, and they have enough to survive inside all by themselves. So this is why it's important to get on them early. Once they've established that they have a food source and water and a home, that's when they set up their territory. That's when they also start marking their territory to tell all the others that are with them, hey, here's where the food is, here's where the water is, here's where you go for this or that, and to tell all the others to stay away. This is my territory. I'm the dominant rat or mouse in here, so stay away. Now, those markings that they do are intentional. They're communicative markings. The other markings that they do are not. A rodent has no control over its bodily functions. It goes where it goes, if you kind of know what I mean. They can leave, some people say, up to 20 to 30 spots a night around. So there'll be urine spots and fecal all around everything uncontrollably. The last thing you want is them running across your countertops doing that. Checking out your coffee maker in the middle of the night doing that. Getting to any of your cupboards and running across your cornflakes and doing that. Two main reasons why you don't want them living around you: health and economical. The economical part of it is rodents. They need to chew on things. They will chew on everything. Sadly, your house is made up of things that, if they chew on, could cause a fire, could cause a major leak, or could just flat out break. You don't want that in your house. The second part is your health. If they get in and populate and they go where they go because their bodily functions, they're in your crawl space or they're in your attic, into your insulation. Your insulation is acting like a sponge, soaking all this stuff up. And sadly, our air is shared between our crawl space and our attic and our houses. That's going to create very poor indoor air quality for you and your family, and you don't want that. The last thing you want is to get sick from a rodent infestation in your home. Very important that you make sure you got good indoor air quality. What can you do to help this? Inspect your home regularly. Make sure that there's no open spots, crawl space screens kicked out, crawl space access doors, or anything loose like that. Any trees growing up next to your house, anything bigger than a dime, size of a dime, that's enough for a rodent to get through. So you want to make sure there's no access points available, no bridges available for them to get into. Make sure there's no food sources around: bird feeders, free feeding pets, compost piles. Composting is very popular. Make sure there's no composting piles that they've gotten into. Keep in mind, it may not be your house. It may be your neighbor's house that has all the things that they need, but if you have an access point in your house, they'll live with you and dine with your neighbor. If you need any help with this, any rodent problems, let us know. We're here to help. We're glad to help you out.